This is a direct continuation of part 1 in this series. Please listen to video 73 before you listen to this one. Thoth asks the 7 Lords of Light if he can go out and teach humanity the wisdom he has gained, and he receives their blessing to do so. In Tablet 3, Thoth explains what it is needed from the true soul to free herself from the bondage of this simulation. He says, "Man is a star bound to a body, until in the end he is freed through his strife. Only by struggle and toiling thy utmost shall the star within thee bloom out in new life. He who knows the commencement of all things, free is his star from the realms of night. Seek not that which is not of the law, for such exists only in the illusion of the senses." Here he indicates that we need to educate ourselves, so we understand the matrix we're living in, for the soul to finally be free. Interesting enough, Thoth seems to describe the 7 Lords of Light as archons, living but still not living, and I quote, "Live they forever, yet not of the living, bound not to life, and yet free from death. Rule they forever with infinite wisdom, bound yet not bound to the dark halls of death. Life they have in them, yet life that is not life, free from all are the Lords of the All." In Tablet 6, Thoth writes more about the 2 types of souls, where the children of light are the true souls, while the dark brothers are souls created within the construct and have the fire of Lucifer. We will discuss this in more detail when we come to the Nag Hammadi videos. For now, the dark souls are basically the narcissists among us. Thoth writes, "For many there are who walk in dark brightness and yet are not the children of light. Easy it is to follow their pathway, easy to follow the path that they lead. But yet, O man, heed ye my warning. Light comes only to him who strives. Hard is the pathway that leads to the wisdom, hard is the pathway that leads to the light. Many shall ye find, the stones in your pathway, many the mountains to climb towards the light." The light is here referring to the light within, the soul fire, but could, as we shall see, also refer to Lucifer's light. Here is part of the deception in the Emerald Tablets. Thoth writes about the battle between light and darkness, good and evil. He discusses the Lords of Light and the Lords of Darkness being Enki and the 6 Lords of Light, and Marduk and Ereshkigal being the Lords of Darkness. In other words, it's the Orion family feud being dramatized again. I am aware that Ereshkigal is not a male and should therefore not be called Lord, but her name is mentioned in the texts, so I won't elaborate on the term Lord that Thoth uses for both Marduk and his cousin Ereshkigal. Thoth's solution is to defeat the Lords of Darkness and embrace the Lords of Light, which is Enki's team. It becomes very clear when Thoth writes, "When unto thee comes a feeling, drawing thee nearer to the darker gate, examine thine heart and find if the feeling thou hast has come from within. If thou shalt find the darkness thine own thoughts, banish them forth from the place in thy mind. Send through thy body a wave of vibration, irregular first and regular second, repeating time after time until free. Start the wave force in thy brain center. Direct it in waves from thine head to thy foot. But if thou findest thine heart is not darkened, be sure that the force is directed to thee. Only by knowing can thou overcome it. Only by wisdom can thou hope to be free. Knowledge brings wisdom, and wisdom is power. Attain, and ye shall have power o'er all. Seek ye first a place bound by darkness. Place ye a circle around about thee. Stand erect in the midst of the circle. Use thou this formula, and you shalt be free. Raise thou thine hands to the dark space above thee. Close thou thine eyes and draw in the light. Call to the Spirit of light through the space-time, using these words, and thou shalt be free. Fill thou my body, O Spirit of life. Fill thou my body with Spirit of light. Come from the flower that shines through the darkness. Come from the halls where the 7 lords rule. Name them by name, I the 7. 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9. By their names I call them to aid me. Free me and save me from the darkness of night. Untanas, Quertas, Chital, and Goyana, Huerto, Semveta, Ardal. By their names I implore thee, free me from darkness and fill me with light. Here it tells us to call up the 7 masters, whereof Enki is the overlord, and the vibration of their names will protect us and steer us away from darkness. We suggest you don't do that. The question that many viewers ask is why Enki let his son go out in the world in many different incarnations and teach and record his revelations. Doesn't that contradict who Enki is and his true motives? At the first glance it might look that way, but like Thoth spelled out, the true meaning of his teachings would not be understood until a much later date, and that date in time is most probably now. The key thing here is that there are 2 main types of soul in this matrix. The souls who have the spark of the true spirit, the empathetic human, and the souls that have Lucifer's, Enki's spark. The latter Enki already have in his possession. They are the narcs, and those who are self-centered and non-compassionate. He doesn't concern himself with them. They are already his. However, how does he trap us, the souls with the larger connection with the divine? He knows that he can't stop us from waking up and return whence we came. So why not help us on the way? We know that the overlord, Demiurge, wants complete control, and he wants control over us as well. His long-term plan has only been to lure us all into the machine kingdom, the singularity, and we know that the singularity is near. Therefore, he needs to trick us into accepting his plan, us unbeknownst. How would he do that? By educating us. For his plan to work out, he needs to bring us up in frequency, so he can manipulate us into a spiritual trap, which is the ascension process, the event, the rapture, the harvest, and all the rest of it. We all have the end-time scenario implants within us, so we can pick and choose based on beliefs, which scenario seems real to us. To Enki, it doesn't matter which scenario we subscribe to. All roads lead to Rome, i.e. the singularity. In our last video, we referred to the remote viewing sessions by Edward Riordan on QAnon, in which it became quite evident that the ascension and leaving the matrix scenarios are run by AI and the Archons. It certainly seems as if the overlords will try to distract people in the last minute, so we'll divert from our true path and go for one with the false scenarios presented to us. If we do, it will be the straight road into the singularity matrix, from where there is no return, and we will mix with the rest of the human population. Therefore we must not fall for any of these tricks, because they all are of the construct, regardless of how encouraging and real they seem. We feel that they are all traps. Thoth's teachings are just one of many to trick humanity towards the singularity. The overlords needed to still need to invent many different narratives, so they can address all of our beliefs and mindsets. The Emerald Tablets will speak to a certain faction of humanity, while other teachings and religions will speak to others, whatever seems to resonate the most. This video series does only, as mentioned earlier, touch on certain highlights from the Emerald Tablets, so there is much more to explore in them, and they are an interesting read. Therefore we highly suggest you read them for yourself. They are not extensive and don't take much time to read. Just Google them and you'll find them for free on many websites. We want to end this Emerald Tablets series with a few last quotes from Thoth, quotes that we feel relate to these last statements above. Tablet 12. Man, a perfect flame of this cosmos, shall move forward to a place in the stars. I shall move even from out of this space-time into another beyond the stars. Tablet 13. Hold thou thy flame here in thy brain seat, until the fingers of death grasp thy soul. Then as thou pass through the state of transition, surely the memories of life shall pass too. Then shall the past be as one with the present. Then shall the memory of all be retained. Free shalt thou be from all retrogression. The things of the past shall live in today. Tablet 14. Know ye this earth is but a portal, guarded by powers unknown to man. Yet the dark lords hide the entrance that leads to the heaven-born land. Know ye the way to the sphere of Arulu is guarded by barriers open only to a light-born man. Arulu being the underworld, the halls of Amenti. As always, we welcome any comments and discussions in the comment section below.